All right, legends, we are a third of the way through the season, 3 rounds down. 879 was my score this week. Nothing special, but we did make we halved our ranking there, which was cool at 1497. Could have been a lot better. Another mistake this week, unfortunately, and obviously a little bit of unluckiness, as always, is what keeps you out of those top ranks if you're playing properly here. So 1497, the overall rank, 879, and a team value of 2.148 mil with about 40 in the bank. I've already used 3 trades this week. I'm trying to work out which way to go with it. I end up using both my boosts, which was interesting. So the other one is gone this week. I did make a last minute change, which worked out well with Bancroft, but I wasn't thinking enough with my other one, and I could have brought in Quinton de Kock in the end. So I cost myself 90 points bringing in Steketee instead of de Kock. I think it was a couple of $1,000 was the difference there, and it just would have got me there. So unfortunate that. Small mistake each and every round, and we'll definitely learn from them going forward. And hopefully after this week, we'll be in that top 1,000. So bringing Bancroft in, emergency looping him in was very, very helpful. And let's get into the game day now and go through those round 3 matchups. So for myself, I won all of my 4 leagues there. The Podmasters Seeded League 6 there. I'm coming third in that one after 3 wins, and I got the win in the Podmasters Cup as well. So let's jump in and check all those guys out. So some decent scores in there, some low ones as well, a few 700s, but a bunch of scores in the mid 900s to the thousands. And congrats to a lot of the guys in this group that are well into the top 500 there, and a couple of guys in the top 150, which is pretty cool. So yeah, a bunch of really strong scores. 1,063 from Hailstorm there. He's absolutely smashing at the moment. He is top of this league overall after, I think, getting the highest score in the first round and also round 3 there. So my one there will jump in, the 879. So there were some solid scores overall. I did bring in Tom Rogers, had Sam Harper already. So Rogers and Webster. Obviously Steketee as well was the issue. And then I used my boost to grab Bancroft there, which I thought at Albury there looked like a pretty decent deck. Small outfield there, so short outfield I should say. So yeah, Bancroft was the man. He's going to help us out this week as well. But yeah, from down there, obviously Richardson picked up a couple of wickets at the end, and so did Sutherland. So it was a very interesting, strange collapse there from the Scorchers on that one. We'll jump in and check out the those games as well, and just a quick synopsis on all those guys. Maxwell to 72, so it did work out better to actually just straight captain Sutherland, and we didn't use any of our emergency guys either with Sanger and Connolly, the guys there 13 and 20 that we didn't loop in. After Sanger's 13, it was just decided that we'd go all in with the rest of the guys there and lock them in, with most of them having doubles. Obviously Philippe there, the 39, frustrating with his 19. It was there, yep. And then Harper had 17 in that second game. Terrible shot in the first. He's frustrating me at the moment. Tom Rogers missed a non-movie's feet, but seemed to get that 20 runs in both of those games with a little bit of bonus in the first one, obviously. Webster was absolutely dominant. The question this week is, I think I have to get rid of Zampa instead of Richardson. It's going to be the play in that one there. So it'll be Zamps. It's going to be Steketee. He's Gonskis. I can't deal with him anymore. And then it's going to have to be Will Sutherland as well to be able to pick up a few of the guys. And one of those is going to be Daniel Sams, likely to be the straight captaincy, given I only have Connolly as my only looper. So I think the straight captaincy gives me a little bit of flexibility on terrible point outcomes. So it's either really it's him there, Samsy, or I know you could straight see. If that doesn't play out as a vice, then you could do some captaincy around Matt Short, around Jamie Overton, these type of guys that have been scoring really well. Could be a decent play. Obviously, Bo Webster's doing pretty well also, which has been fun. But there's not too many other guys other than sort of the the Walters, the Overtons, Samsy, Bancroft as captaincy options there. But let's get into those games and what we had across the week there. So we had a doubleheader on the 23rd there, I should say, 24th. And then the doubleheader yesterday on Boxing Day. So kicked it off with the Stars and the Thunder. We obviously got some solid scores across the board in that one. Some really big ones in that of Bo Webster and Daniel Sams. So if you went early on Samsy, if you went early on Bancroft, or you picked up Webster, you were happy and cheering in that one. Osama Mir, a bit of a low one for him, but we saw in their second game that he really stepped up. If you went for Stoin, it was a bit frustrating, obviously, there. And Steketee as well with Harper. So a bit of a mixed bag it was for my squad, given I had Webster and Bancroft. Right now I've got Ollie Davies in my side. But we'll work that out over the day as if we think that's going to be worth it, or if we are grabbing Hales there in that one. So some solid scores in that one. Thunder able to get that win, which is important for them over the Stars, who have been struggling, but did get the win obviously last night there as well. For that next game, Hobart and the Renegades, we had some really solid scores across the board. Batters did really well in Wells, DeCock, and Rogers. Obviously, getting 183 with Hobart chasing that down 4 for 187. So batters were the winners in this one. You can see there the bowlers of Richardson, the bowlers of Zampa, and Sutherland didn't do very well, unfortunately. And of course, we own those guys. Ben McDermott was injured, so he didn't play that one. I'm not sure if he'll get back into this side, given his how he's scoring and how well Mac Wright's going every time he plays for Hobart. So that's going to be interesting to follow. And these Renegades guys are going to be the ones you want to be looking to get rid of now, just because they don't have any more double games and they become of less importance to you. Very much the same of that of the Sixers from now on. So Sixers, Renegades, completely up to you which one you want to trade out, given they don't have any doubles from here on in. So yeah, they're guys to look at in that one. Matt Wade, Mac Wright, the ones that dominated in that one. Tim David, another low score for him, so he's going to get real cheap when it comes to his double. Sixes and Stars in this one here, you're looking at obviously Osama Mir coming back and doing really well. Same with Harris Ralph, so a good finish for him. He picked up 3 wickets in his last over, and there was a run out in that as well. So similar to that of obviously Sutherland and then Kane Richardson as well. Some better scores out of Harper. Solid out of Maxwell without being crazy, unfortunately. If you did straight captain him, you were hoping for one really big batting effort, not bowling at the moment. Obviously, Tom Rogers there with the 30 there. And then Steckity got dropped for Paris, who actually bowled fairly well, I'd say, for the most part. Vince came out and dominated. Jack Edwards, another good game for him. Bowling, batted well as well, really helped out Vince in that one. So he's the pick, and he ended up being, personally, would have been the better pick than Josh Philippe for me, which I was tossing up between. I just thought Philippe had more upside, but obviously with Tom Curran being out, they're using Jack Edwards there as a sort of a 4-over bowler, which has been helpful for anyone who owns him. So well done in that front. Obviously not knowing that Tommy Curran was going to go down until the start of this round, which was wild. And then we're going on with Philippe there from there, and then Dwarsh had a little bit of a low one as well. So Stars obviously winning that matchup. Sixers strangely falling to them, but they'll be better for it. Stars had a really good effort from Hilton Cartwright. He's been dominant. If you picked him up, you're happy with that. He's absolutely in form at the moment. Scorchers the 162, ended up defending that against the Renegades, and you got Josh Inglis and Aaron Hardy, both absolutely dominant again with the bat. Laurie Evans coming in and smoking them, getting his 24 and his 25 bonus, which is good. And then the bowlers kind of did their thing and really restricted them late. Very much the same as what happened with the Scorchers at 7 for 3 or whatever it was they lost. The Renegades lost a bunch there at the end for not too many either, and Berendorf picked up one. Obviously Lance got a couple there, and Richardson and obviously Andrew Ty to finish things off picked up a few at the end. So scores in this one of Tom Rogers, great, 107. He's kind of rewarding those that stuck with him from the start. Sutherland the 98 with those 3 wickets late, a couple of catches as well. Sean Marsh, my God, that was magnificent. But again, all of these guys we're not really looking to bring into our squads at all. No one's standing out that much, and you've got guys like Clark and etc. that could be trade outs as well. So completely up to you and your setup. It's the Renegades guys and the Sixers, and if you have Steckity, get rid of him as well. So that's the 4 at the moment. If we're looking to go on from here, I just had a little play around with my team currently, and the way this plays out at the moment is if I pick up 2 Thunder players and I pick up one of Walter or Jamie Overton, is probably the best way to go about it. I can't get to both Walter and Overton and just play with 3 Thunder, so we're going to go with the double game guy. The question right now for you guys, if anyone's watching, Ollie Davies and our man Walter leaves me with 0. Unfortunately, I wanted Overton. I do, just a little bit. He's got the earlier double in round 6 compared to that of the Heat in round 7. So I would prefer to have Jamie Overton as well. I think he is slightly better as well. So that's where I'm kind of at that one. But if I was to do that one, that extra couple of thousand means I would have to get Ollie Davies down to Alex Hales, which leaves me with sort of 30k in the bank, given he's fairly cheap. And I suppose my gut feel at the moment says that Ollie Davies is the play. I think he's obviously the youngster on the up. Alex Hales getting a little bit older, will have the odd game. Will it be one of these 2 games? I hope so. Davies is averaging 46 and been solid in that first few games without his strike rate being super high. So he's scoring runs in each of them, but isn't dominant. So in that sense, I feel like he's due for a good couple of games. There's been a lot of weather around Brisbane at the moment, so something to just keep in note that the pitch could be a little bit underdone, given it's been under covers for so long, on and off, with the groundsman trying to work on it. So something to think about there is how many batsmen you look at from the Thunder, given their first game could be not rain affected, but pitch affected in terms of how much work it's had on it. So Alex Hales and Overton would be my secondary option. So let me know what you'd be doing on that one. Let's just have a look at some of the options from the Thunder that you have, obviously, as batters there, just to kick things off. So Sydney Thunder, remember they have the double in round 4 and the double in round 9 as well. So we will be collecting a lot of Thunder players by the end of this matchup. But Bancroft, a clear top option at the moment, averaging 71. Him and Sams, obviously with Sam's massive effort here, are the two top picks for scoring solely. Very expensive at that, obviously, with 183 for Bancroft, 165 for Samsey, going back up after he lost some cash in that first couple of games. Ollie Davies, I would have as my next batting option, and there's no one else down from there that you would want to be looking at in that one there. If you were to trade out, let's just pop Samsey as the trade out, just so we can look at some of those bowlers. As the keeper option, Bancroft after this round is likely to get dual position, which is something to look at, but otherwise, there's no keeping options for him with Julksy not playing. Zaman kind of sounds like he's going to be playing only one of these two games in the double, so I would recommend Zaman as an option, but unfortunately that might not be happening. Unfortunately, so Chris Green at a 44.7 average has been solid to start. I don't think I could recommend him at the price. Similar to that with Nathan McAndrew there, and Hatcher hasn't scored super well, so he's losing cash at the moment with nobody else who's currently playing in that squad. So it's really a mixture. It is a mixture of the batters. Make sure you do get Tanveer Sangha. If you don't, I obviously didn't mention him because I own him, but Tanveer, obviously a really good option there. He still gained 6K after a couple of low games for him. So look at Tanveer as the guy that if this pitch is a little bit underdone, he could be the one to dominate rather than the batters. So maybe mix it between some bowling options, some batting options as well. So if you can get Sams in that squad, that could be really helpful. And he could come in and sort of slog at the end, maybe having one or two batters, and if he can get a fourth there, it could be Tanveer Sangha. Something like this would probably work out. I'm going to go for that, the two batters, two bowlers kind of realm there. I'm going to loop with Cooper Connolly, and likely at this stage with Billings playing that first game, he will be the guy to sort of be the emergency loop in that first one. And if something happens there, I can switch Connolly up to short. My main issue now is just that I've got a lot of sort of bat-only guys. Guys that had been doing well are cheaper guys in Fraser McGurk and Short, and obviously Bancroft there, and then Davies comes into that as well. Got Tom Rogers for his double in round 5. Just remember that, guys, the Stars players have the double in round 5. Keep a hold of a few of those guys. There's been a few people getting rid of Maxwell, which seems silly. Harper, I can understand why you want to get rid of him, but still at 92,000 now, he's very, very cheap and he hasn't gone very well. There's going to be a game or two where he does actually middle the ball for once. Not sure when that's going to be, but a potential option there. They're all the potential options there for the Thunder. And then you've got Jamie Overton and Walter. Make sure that you look to at least get one of those guys in. If you've got one, then potentially the other. And somewhere around that 4 Thunder players, I think, is going to help you do really well in this week coming up. So that's the video for today, guys. Good luck with lockout tonight in 9 hours. And good luck basically in round 4. Hopefully we all get ourselves close to that top 1,000.